Hey guys, welcome to another episode of One Take. So we're out here at SHOT Show, and one of the things that we like to do is leave Vegas, leave the casinos, leave the floor, and actually go out and shoot, which is something that I believe SHOT Show should be a little bit more about. So we're out here in the desert at an undisclosed location, and we're joined by some super awesome people that we shoot with throughout the year, and we produce different content on the internet. So I just want to run through and let these guys introduce themselves and gal, and we'll get going, start shooting. So, Steve,
that's me. I'm Steve. I work at T.REX ARMS. Worked there for the last couple of years with Luke, Charles, Drew, and the rest of the guys. Yeah, go ahead.
Ryan, cop, 13 years, dad, and shooter buddy.
Don, prior Marine, current LE.
Amy, parole officer and firearms trainer outside of work and at work as well.
Yep. So we're just going to be running through some drills, mainly with handgun. If we can get to some rifle stuff, we'll get to that. But this is the kind of training we do when we're on our own, and we're just going to show you guys what that looks like. And when we get together as a group, this isn't like special stuff we're just doing for YouTube. This is literally the exact same stuff we do when we get together. And a lot of these drills are things that you guys can do on a, at an indoor range or at a basic range where you don't have, something super big and fancy. So this is just the normal fundamentals, basics that we do all the time, and we just want to show that to you guys. So let's get going. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is a really simple build drill, 7 yards, 6 rounds into, we have a piece of paper is taped on top of a USPSA target. We're gonna show the hits and the timer for this one for all of us. You can get a baseline for what we're doing. Ryan, you wanna explain why you like this drill so much as a cold start drill for like some of your guys? And
yeah, so the philosophy behind the build drill for me, at least in the little bit of experience in law enforcement that I have, is you leave briefing, you could pull someone over and you're approaching that vehicle and the dude's gonna potentially pop out. You could get into a foot pursuit where you come around a corner, you have someone there. Again, round accountability is huge, but data-driven performance would state that a large majority of officer-involved shootings include high round counts, and we're not training guys enough to control the natural response, which is going to be a high volume of fire to begin with. The whole standing on this 5-yard line and to the body, one of the head is just doesn't seem logical to me, that a guy in that stressful situation is going to remember to just shoot 2 and then assess and hit the head. When you're getting rounds flung at you, it's been natural, and it's data driven to watch hundreds upon hundreds of shootings per year of guys really laying down high volumes of fire. So I think it's important that we learn how to control the gun and manage the recoil and get those effective rounds on target.
Yeah, the data driven is always high intensity, close distance, high round count. That's one thing that doesn't get worked on, because dudes want to look cool at 25 yards and put bullets in that size of a target, when in actuality this is what's, like what he said, it's data driven right here.
Yep. All right, let's do it. 7 yards. We'll check hits. I have a Sharpie. We can mark them up. We'll see what happens.
All right, shooter, are you ready?
Ready.
Stand by. 191.
That was in what?
191.
19, so sub 2. I've got 1 off right here, and that was my second shot.
Yeah.
And then we got 5 on. All right, that was
Amy,
it. What was that, a 19? All right, who's up?
Yep, I'll go.
Amy, we'll just shoot into the same one.
All right.
All right, Amy, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Stand by. That's time of a 2.30.
2.30. Got 1 in, 1 in, 1 in, 1 in, 1 on the right, slight, and then
6-1 may have been high.
yeah, I think it was up here a little bit. That was in a 2-3 with the first shot of a 1-7. Mojo?
Yep.
And Ryan, you're up after that. Shooter ready.
Shooter's ready.
Stand by. All right, 218. We'll strap. So, kind of like what we talked about. So this group right here, this is you're going your controlled like 80-90%. Yep. Your group is like this. Obviously, you have this area to shoot inside of. You could have done this sub 2.
Oh, I could have, but
to go.
Again, we want that.
Going that 90%.
I could definitely have sped it up, gone for a sub 2. Could have picked up the sights a lot quicker. But again, what I'm looking for is a controlled metric, and that was my
90%. So that's a 218 for Mojo's 6 in a nice little group. All right. Shooter, are you ready?
Good.
Stand by. That's a 215. All in. I feel like everything's gotten a little closer. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, nice little group right in the center. And then we've got Steve. Last one. It's a 215. First shot on a 1.2. Shooter ready. Stand by. Awesome. That's in a 204. Man, you guys crushed it. First shot in a 99. I want to say that might be the fastest first shot. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4. I saw they were all in. They all landed 5, and the 6th is like mixed in here with one of these. But they're all in. We only have 2 that are out.
It's right there.
And that was in a 204. So yeah, the time to kind of look for this drill is like 7 yards. 6A zones and sub 2 is kind of the standard. There's dudes that are doing this with like a 2011, a race gun, and 1.6 and 7, stuff like that. We're all running Glocks of various configurations. Amy, you've got irons. We all have dots. You have irons, and Ryan's got irons, and the rest of us have dots. So now, is there anything in particular you guys want to do? If not, I want to go ahead and just get a real fast. So in between both these targets, now let's just, actually we'll back up a little bit. We'll go like 10. Just real simple. We're gonna shoot. Do we have spare paper? We do have spare paper.
Yes, we do.
Just to make this like easier, faster. Yeah. All right. So what I like to do if I don't have a bunch of targets, but I want to get some like transitions in, I only have like 2 stands. What I like to do is do a drill where I land 2 rounds into each target, and I'm transitioning to back and forth with each target twice. So we're gonna do, this is 8 rounds, it's 2 rounds on each. So it's starting on 1, you can pick whichever it is. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you're getting 3 or 4, whatever, it's early in the morning. Transitions in, obviously these are short transitions, it's nothing crazy, we may get into that later. But we're also gonna track our accuracy, and then we're also just gonna try to get through this fast moving, and then fast shooting, or obviously the shooting's gonna depend based on target size and target distance. So I'll go first, 8 rounds, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then we'll go through this real quick.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Stand by.
All right, so that's all on 8,
338.
and that's in a 338. We won't run up there. All right, Mojo.
No,
All right, Amy.
Yeah, same order.
Yeah, we'll just run from here.
All right, Amy, you ready?
Yeah.
The Amy is ready. Stand by.
Good stuff. That's in
4.03.
403. All right, Mojo. These are super simple drills. There's a lot going on.
Coffee.
As far as fundamentals go. You're ready.
Yep.
Stand by.
I fired more than I need.
No, you're good. You're good. So your time with 8. You had 1 on the, I want to say on the left.
I lost all processing ability.
375. Yeah, it's a little harder because you're not just shooting the same, like a different target for each.
Yeah.
You're going back to the same one.
Messed it all up. I'm about it.
All right, Ryan, are you ready?
Yeah.
Stand by. Good. So 4-3. All right, Steve. We're just getting through these real fast because there are 5 of us. Shooter ready.
Great.
Stand by. Attacking those transitions. So obviously a big thing that I'll do a video on this in the future, but really transitioning fast as soon as you fired that shot, like coming off of recoil, having that processing to be able to just go next target and eyes leading, gun follows. Obviously this is a really short transition. It's shoulder width. It's not too difficult, but there is obviously the processing going between both.
That's cool. I like what you did because you, instead of like keeping your arms locked out the whole time and driving, you kind of suck the gun a little bit more. And I need to apply that. That's actually really cool.
Stationary. Anytime I'm out doing something stationary, trying to isolate or whatever it is I'm doing stationary, I want to make sure I do it in a manner that translates to movement. Because like you guys were talking about.
Because when you shoot, you suck the gun in and move anywhere. You're not.
Yeah. So
makes sense.
Look at you guys. Your point for data-driven practice. You know, basing your practice off things you actually see happening and occurring naturally. Movement is the other part of that, right? So we've got the distance. We're generally in very close. There's that. What you say, the natural response of, where you're dumping more than a couple rounds at a time, but people are moving their feet. No one's standing still. So anything I do stationary, I want to make sure I can translate that to movement. So having the gun here to where I can manage recoil better.
A blanket.
Yes, absolutely.
I like it. I'm about it.
The other thing we did really well, and you can't see the targets, but our hits are really good. There's no flocking. They're all on the paper. We stopped on each individual target, but as soon as we were done with that second hit, we followed the sight over to the next one, so nobody was moving too fast through the transitions. We were getting our hits and then moving.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
good.
Yeah.
Because obviously when a lot of people start doing these transition drills and they start pushing the speed coming across, they don't push the discipline of stopping on that target and they blow past, and that's when you see like deltas on the right side, or they shoot too early, on that target. Which is when I like to sandwich no shoots. If I have like someone doing that, I'm like, all right, well, there's a no shoot, so like there's a penalty if I really drive the gun too fast and I'm not disciplined in stopping and like tracking that sight and then taking that shot.
Well, part of that is, again, if you're aggressive and speedy on the transitions, you have more time to pick up the sights. Obviously, if we're just tracking 1 2 1 2, that's going to be a little bit different than 1 2 1 2.
Yep.
It's like all the same time, but obviously you're getting your sights on target quickly.
Yep. Well, Steve, want to do a moving thing? What do you?
Yeah.
Mention moving. What do you want to do? We also have those out here. We have unstable ground too.
That's good.
Yeah.
We could do the 2 at 10 and then 3 at 7, something like that, short.
Yeah.
Moving
Actually,
forward.
because the way we got this set up, I think that will work really good for that.
Which one do we
This
want to
time
use?
rearranging.
And we need where are those ammo cans at?
Let's use this one here in the corner.
Let's grab those.
I'm probably I want to induce reload, so I'm gonna actually go ahead and I'm gonna start messing with the mags.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I'm gonna put.
What is it? You said 7? It's 1 at 7.
You can kind of start from back here. Yeah. Is that 10 right there? Yeah. Do 2 at 10 and then run up to the 7 and smoke 3. So that's about here. Yeah.
Oh, little.
I want to also reiterate the fact that, like, again, like, because everyone always like mentions your range, like it must be nice to have that range, but like where we are right now, this is cool because like anyone can come out and do this. Like everyone's got BLM land where they live. I know about you guys, but like
We be in the desert right now.
yeah, so this is definitely stuff that could be done. You could buy some target stands, like $30, $20 each. Get some cardboard, and you could actually do this. stuff
Essentially, what
outdoors, too.
Mojo's saying is, if there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely.
So don't make excuses. All right, one of you can show like what's up. I'm not gonna go first on this.
Okay,
one.
what is this one?
Hey,
So I think
Steve or Amy?
the
Amy's
idea
got
is
this
we're gonna start from back here.
Yep.
We'll draw. You can come up, and I don't care if you take these on the move, you just can't shoot these 2 hits forward of the 10-yard line. So you gotta deliver 2, and then run up, and then deliver 3. And the idea is kind of like envision USPSA boxes.
Yeah.
So we don't really want to take these on the move. What we're focusing on is coming in and out of the position, kind of floating in and out, versus that kind of goat stop.
Yes.
Because so you kind of want to like float in and have the gun up.
Yep.
As you come
And
in.
not be fully locked in, because obviously a lot of people, they get into a position like this and they stand all the way up,
Yeah.
and then they have to drop again to move, versus arriving in this position, staying low, bang, bang, staying low, bang, bang.
Looking into that perspective too, obviously we want to set ourselves up for success. If we're taking the shots, we want to make sure we have a stable platform to do so.
Yep.
Yeah.
So obviously that's a big one to take into consideration here. Now we'll see. I guarantee we're all talking about this. We're going to see like different ways of doing it. Dudes that are going to stop, dudes that are going to slowly walk and move at the same time and set into the positions differently. So it's going to be nice to see.
All right, Amy, you want to go first? Or
Yeah,
Steve?
yeah. So 2 and then 3.
2 and then 3.
Yep.
All righty.
We're not shooting from back here.
Yeah,
No,
we're gonna run
we're
up.
gonna
So
run
we
up.
have some deceleration that is forced.
Okey-dokey.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Got 517. Got a couple high, one in the neck and one on the side. All right, Mojo.
I don't know how many rounds. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
2
You,
and
you always
3.
do the reloads later.
Yeah, whatever.
Shooter ready. Stand by. That was in like a 5 something. I didn't follow you because I was enamored
Yeah, nice hit.
by how you did it. All right, Ryan. Let's go. So it's 2, then 3.
So this time,
2 then 3.
Yeah.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Ooh, that reload. That was in a 553 with a. This reload's tough because the amount of space we have to get it done, there's not a lot. There's very little. Steve.
But you're right. Steve, you're absolutely right. Something I need to take into consideration.
Shooter ready. Stand by. .473. All right. Back up.
Okay.
I'm not doing a reload. I'm being a peasant.
Oh, you have a full mag. Why do I use it?
Are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by.
Oh, shoot! Should have lubed this gun up a little bit.
One shot, 225.
Oh, look at that.
Oh no! I'm gonna do it again. I don't want that. I don't want that.
We get to go again.
Yeah,
Oh, we
what are you
will.
doing?
Oh,
It's
we
not
will.
fair.
Yeah, it's not
You don't get
fair.
special treatment.
Stand by.
I'll be nice to put up too.
Little slip there. So a big thing here that I'm trying to do is like some of you guys are running up to it and then driving the gun out, and you're losing probably about half a second versus really starting to get on the gun and then stopping. Or what Steve did, he took a rolling shot. He placed his foot, went 1, 2, and then was already into it.
You're getting lower than we were too.
Yeah, so let's do this again.
All right.
Who's up?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Trying to like get on the side a lot sooner.
Okay.
Probably like, I'm trying like right here.
Okay.
I'm like already on the side. So as soon as I'm there, I can start shooting sooner.
Okay.
It's not necessarily shooting faster.
Sooner.
Then
You
we're
pick
set.
up that space, you're aware of it, so then your focus can be back out here, so you already know where you're going to stop. That's your peripheral.
Yeah.
And then your focus can stay out there.
Copy. All
Good
right.
to go?
Yep.
Stand by.
I
feel
can do
those
the rolling
smoother
all
that
day. I
time
can do that
getting
rolling
out.
stuff.
A little bit more
But
time
you-
to
but
see
you
it.
have
There's
accountable.
no
Yeah.
reason to not
Okay,
get on the
good.
gun sooner.
No, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right on that aspect.
Yeah, but
You're
still like
I don't want to roll.
stopping
Like,
and taking a
yeah,
shot.
because
Yeah.
I'm accountable for it. What are you saying? I'm accountable for every round that I fire.
Yeah.
So like, I'm obviously more stable here than I am doing
Yeah.
that. So I'll
But
t-
do it in a manner to where now you're set up to leave that position.
No,
again.
absolutely,
So
which
like, let's say
which-
you find a position,
right.
like you're in a gunfight at work,
Mhm.
you get to something, you start delivering rounds. Now that's not a position of advantage, and it's time to move.
time to move.
So
Absolutely.
now you can apply that like competition style footwork to.
Sure.
I can get the heck out of here
We give it a
without
try,
wasting
yeah.
time shifting.
So yeah, mount the gun quicker and set
Yeah.
myself up for position of advantage type.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Stand by. Good.
Check.
How'd it feel?
Felt good. I was ready to move.
Good.
So, I like
Did
that.
you still feel stable once
I
you
did.
got
I
there?
did definitely feel stable.
Good.
But I mean, obviously, I have to stop the momentum, which
Yes.
is why I chop step a lot. So I have to versus like taking off like 100%, and all of a sudden I'm like, ah! So I have
Yeah.
to chop step, then I have to set it into the position again. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
lost some
trying
time
to
there. But
learn to kind of float in and out.
yeah.
Instead of being.
And that's
so-
a-
Because when I move, it's like I'm.
Yeah, and
100%
this
I'm moving.
is
Yeah,
a
me too.
harder
I'm a
movement
goat.
because
Yeah.
it's so short. Like this would be way easier if it was like this box or
Yeah.
like shooting from here and then shooting
But it's
there.
realistic. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
a
that's
car
like
and
a
another car, a
super
car and a
hard.
light pole,
Yeah.
something. Not light pole, but something.
That's good.
Yeah.
Ryan? Ready, bud?
Yep.
Stand by.
Woo, that double. That was good.
All right, so kind of doing sort of the same thing. Again, super simple. We got him. But this time it's now in width. So that was depth. Obviously, this will be, harder for more ranges to be able to do. But kind of the
it does
same
goes
thing.
away, like we said.
Yeah, but as soon as I'm like done, same thing with like the transitions we were doing earlier. As soon as I'm done with the target, I'm off. And I see a lot of people, you guys probably do too, like at work and stuff, when they're making the decision to move, they're just kind of like, oh, dun, dun, dun.
It's not
And
aggressive.
they're like
It's not realistic and not
taking
aggressive
their
at all.
jolly time.
Yeah.
Whereas like from here, we got 10 yards. Like I'm gonna try to get to that position as fast as I can. This is a hard like angle that I'm transitioning into. So like hip placement once I get there and positioning, obviously setting me up for that stable base,
Yep.
so I can take that shot is pretty important.
So do you plant your outside foot as you come in here?
Yes. So for this transitioning deep into my support side, I will plant and then drive hips like at the last second. So I try to keep that wide base. Like, could I take my shots like this?
Yeah.
Yes, but like very unfavorable. So I'm really gonna try to like pay attention to planting, and then what I sometimes do is actually sweep back like this, and that actually ends up twisting my hips right to where the target is, and then I'm set. But we'll see if it actually like works out the way I want.
So let's increase that round count a little bit. So like versus taking and
4?
again what we talked about your last one take where like we can get like lucky with the 1 or 2
Yes.
shots, make it like 4 or 5.
4. We'll do
4. The 4.
Four on each.
So we can set up for that. Sit down.
Good to go?
Yep.
Stand by.
Nice.
Very good.
So again, setting up with that wide base, outside foot, and then I'm just spinning this foot back to really drive my hips towards that next target, and then I'm set. All right, who's up?
I'll go.
Oh, thanks.
Keep losing that.
I keep forgetting.
All right, Don, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Stand by. Good.
Check.
Those reloads. Holy
I didn't set my mags up properly.
Yeah, but still. Oh my. All right, who's up?
After you.
Holy cow. All right, Steve. Yeah, you floated out of that last shot too.
Saw that?
You're like, and you're start going.
Leaving your
Shoot ready. Stand by. That was in a 604. All right.
605.
604. I don't know what the times are on this one, but
I don't know. All right.
shoot ready. Stand by. Nice malfunction carry.
Thank you.
On the move
Good.
too.
Yes.
You'll do it.
Oh.
You're not shooting on the move on your sport side.
There's no advantages in the real world. I'll just take it how it is.
He's the only
Game the
left
gunfight,
here.
Brian.
Shoot ready.
Yep.
Stand by.
Get it. Oh, boy, look at that reload, boy. Look at that reload.
It's all
man.
right.
Good.
All right, go ahead and come back here.
Planning these problems.
So this is one thing that I saw, and it wasn't something I necessarily really noticed here, is when you were done with this position, it was from like all four, and then you went and you were just tracking like this position, and it was probably because you were like really thinking about your footwork arriving in this position. So you were just like place, and you didn't look up at the target until you would like reach this spot. So I want you to try this. Come to here. I want you to draw shoot two, and all I want you to do 1, 2 is look to where you're going, and then immediately go target, because what that ends up doing is that allows you to set up your base more consistently, because obviously this goes for anyone. If they're staring at their base and they come up, they realize, oh, I didn't set up my base for like that wide of a transition or one over there because I wasn't watching it as I got into here. So you get to here, you go hips, you come up and you're like, oh wait, the target's over there. So go ahead and take one glance at like this position, and then immediately go, and I may call out a verbal as a reminder, because I do that. And then it's target, so it's literally like position, target. I know this is here, because I just seen it, plant, and then I can start shooting sooner, more consistent. Yeah, so just do 2 and 2. Shooter ready. Yep. Stand by. Target. Good, much better. So same thing, looking for the position, looking up, and you're still gonna land in that position just fine. You've just seen it. Cool. All right. Do you guys want to talk about something briefly? This is probably a good example. Some of this movement stuff's probably a good example.
Earlier, I want to touch in like earlier we were talking about like data-driven stuff as well. But to play devil's advocate to that, the reason why we shoot at the 25 is like my mentality is if I could do a builder at 25 quickly and efficiently, 7 yards is a joke. That's why we do it. It's not necessarily because we want to base everything, because Ryan what he's talking about is completely true. But again, we do want to push the standards at the range and make ourselves accountable and make ourselves better. Because again, the target like gets smaller as you go back. So that's one thing. And I kind of want to try something a little bit further distances, just to maintain that round accountability type deal. Yeah, we could definitely do some transitions or some movement stuff. I'm not creative. Like I don't know.
Well, I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh man, this is weird.
So one way to kind of
There you go, Amy. Thanks, Amy.
One way to kind of simulate distance without getting too far away from the target, since we don't have a lot of time to run back and forth, is we can just use the head.
Yeah.
So couple different options there. We can start at the 3-yard line, run back to the 10 and deliver 1 or 2, or we can move forward and deliver a headshot, but that will kind of simulate the distance.
Hey, let's go back.
Well,
Let's go backwards.
let's try something else. So like what you just did, I like that because the
left.
whole moving forward, like in depth, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
So would you guys be willing to try like a couple rounds of the headshot from its far distances, moving up, slowing it down, and then freaking burning it down at something close?
Yeah.
You guys be down to try something like that?
Where do you
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do a 7.
We'll smash him.
Yeah.
So you said 1 at, we're hitting this guy.
Let's do like 15. So something reasonable.
Okay.
I mean, I'd say 25, but yeah.
So, and then the second can will be at 5?
5?
5.
Yeah. So throttle control, so you're essentially going down. And one of the things is also like speed of mechanics.
Yep.
So because we're at a further distances, we usually see people like, all right, we're at 25 yards. Okay. Then they take their gun out really slowly versus like, all right, 25 yards. Trying to get the gun. Yeah.
The same up
Exactly.
close as it is far away.
That's one of the problems that I've been seeing with a lot of people. Like when we, especially in qualification, they'll take their sweet time and then they're like, okay, make sure
And they're
everything's
buying
right.
nothing with
Yeah,
that
you get
at
nothing
all.
with it. Yeah.
Another quick translation between this training and the real world too for cops that do this type of stuff is know your abilities. Don't take or attempt a 15-yard headshot if you know you can't. Get out and train, know your capabilities.
Absolutely.
Don't do it once in a 2-hour training day. Do it multiple times. Build up that level of consistency, which will then translate to confidence. Because the round accountability for our community is huge. It is for people who just carry CCW as well. When you start firing rounds into the public, you're accountable for where they go.
Your bullets have their name on it.
Train this stuff to a level that's consistent so you know what you can do and don't outdrive your headlights.
If you're not capable of doing it, that's a perfect one.
All right, Mojo, you're going first.
Okay, cool. So we're like over here?
Yep, here, 2 to the head, I guess, and then... No, we're shooting this guy. Him. He's clean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
so what is it? 2 to the head from here, and
Let's
then
do 3 to the head. We'll do 3 and 6.
3 and 6? All right.
Yeah, 3 and 6. Hold on, let me just...
Well, so you're going to do a moving reload. Ooh, yeah.
I'm probably not going to do it. I want to dump perfectly good ammo.
Okay.
All right.
Shooter ready.
Yep.
Stand by. Holy moly. I did not get the stuff on that, but the 3 are in.
So
We're not going to be able to check us in all these because we're running out of
1, 2, 3, 4,
time.
5, 6.
But you are good. All right, next shooter. Who's up?
Consistent performance level right
Ryan.
now.
Okay.
So for right now,
You're up.
just
You're
do
close
that.
to the box.
And then if we do it again, then see what you can put.
Okay, yeah, because that feels real.
Shooter ready. 3 and then 6. Stand by.
Nice, Ryan. That was a good headshot. Woo! Yeah, burn it, baby. Yeah, dude. Yo, them splits though, dude. Them splits, bro. Ryan, way to go, dude.
All right, now we're gonna do a little confidence drill. Ryan's gonna stand next to the target while I do this. His head next to mine. We're gonna get all
Never.
spets
Wait,
knots
time
here.
out. How is he standing down there with his head next to yours?
For the record, he did it with iron sights. I just want to let that everybody know.
Yeah, no, that's good.
All right, shooter, are you ready?
Ready.
Stand by.
There you go. Look
Get it. All right. Yeah, you guys heard it here first. 268.
268. Yeah, he,
All right.
it didn't count the rounds.
No, it
down.
didn't.
It didn't count the rounds down there.
No, it
Okay.
didn't. No,
it did
didn't.
not.
Okay, who's up? Amy. All right.
On the way in.
Okay.
All right.
About those 3.
All right, is the shooter ready?
Yeah.
Hot pocket.
Nice.
Oh, trigger finger freeze. That happens if you're tensed up.
I'll say stopping on this is standard.
So, on a build drill, trigger finger freeze happens because you're tense. You get to relax.
Looser muscles.
Yeah.
All right, Steve. Crush this bow.
I threw Amy off on the hot pocket.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you did.
You're like, what? Oh, yeah.
I didn't say no fair and stop. I win. But
I was thrown off too.
you know,
Shooter ready.
3 to the
Stand
head.
by.
Nice. See, I like that. You started shooting. Like,
fully stopped,
yeah,
yeah.
going fully. I like
Yeah,
that.
so
That
when
was
I'm here, and that's much bigger target,
Yeah.
I've got a little bit like less acceptable
good. You were
side
like,
picture,
poo, 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 poo.
and
Yeah,
still
that's
be
good.
confident where
Absolutely.
those rounds are
More
going.
room for error. Yeah. That's good. How many minutes? 2 minutes. All right, let's do just real fast. I just want to get some times down. Mojo, here.
Oh gosh.
7.
Yes.
Single shot
Now.
draw. Single shot draw. What kind of holster are you running?
Level 2, the new 7PS RDS.
Cool. So he's got a level 2 holster. We're just gonna do single shot white paper from here at 5 yards.
go ahead.
Just get some times. Sure. Head.
Head. Okay.
We got 1 hit there.
Got it.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
Shoot.
1, 4, 3.
Level 3.
One more.
That was still smoking.
We'll go 3 each.
Okay.
Stand by. 9-7. Stand by. 102. Next shooter. Let's get through this real quick. Shooter ready. Stand by. 118. Stand by. 112.
Nice.
Stand by.
Super consistent.
113. Super consistent across the board. That's what we're looking for. All right, Ryan.
Yep.
He's running level 2. Stand by.
He's ahead. We're not body. Woo!
An 8-9. Stand by. 101.
Nice.
There you go.
That was a good
Stand
hit.
by.
Yes.
There you go.
That was a good
Alpha,
one.
alpha
Two.
hit.
So big thing, just a note real quick, like we're doing a one-shot draw super isolated, but the big thing here is none of these guys are like bringing the gun back as soon as they're done with that one shot. They're leaving the gun out in case they had to shoot more
Follow through.
and building that good habits of follow through. Steve,
30 seconds.
30 seconds. We'll go fast. I probably won't even do it. Stand by. 9-8. Stand by. 9-3. Stand by.
Consistent.
There it is. My turn.
That was a perfect hit. All
That's
right.
good.
Ready?
Yep.
Stand by.
Roll
8-4.
lower.
Hit him in the neck.
Stand by.
All right, guys. Well, that's these happen way faster. Like when we're out here doing them, we have about 30 minutes because our Sony camera records to like 29:59. If it goes over that, it's considered a film cinematography camera, and then the price gets jacked up. So that's why we have a limitation as far as our one takes, going to only 29 minutes to get the content that we're doing for one of these. But you know, we did, you know, a few different drills, talked about some different things from, you know, law enforcement perspective, and then doing some like competition style shooting. But at the end of the day, this is all just, it's all shooting. It's finding sights, it's pressing triggers. It's the same regardless of wherever you are, whatever you're doing. There's slight techniques that can vary, but do you guys have any closing thoughts?
Oh,
or-
it's cool. Like, obviously, every time we shoot with people, I've never shot with you before, Amy. It was awesome to see you shoot finally. You're really good. So this is kind of nice. We saw different ways of how the similar things were done. So which was kind of nice. Like we had an end state. We all met the end state, and we all did it differently. And it's cool to kind of learn from each other. And because like people don't really understand, like a majority of the range days is spent talking.
Yeah.
We're learning
Oh, yeah.
perspectives. We're learning how Steve does things. Like Steve was really harping at me like, hey, get the gun out before position, when I'm so used to like getting set up in the position, then getting the gun out and working the sights, like getting it out that way. And so I definitely have something to work on now. And so it's really nice to get a variety of shooters from different backgrounds together to accomplish one simple goal, which is sights on target, pull trigger, go boom, and then accomplish that mission. So it was really cool shooting with you guys today. I loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'll second that. All great shooters. I've found it better to, within my growth in the shooting journey, to surround myself with better or like-minded individuals, so that I can grow. Set your standards high when you're training. I mean, don't come out and say, hey, I'm going to do, a 10-second build drill. If you have to start there, that's great. But as soon as you accomplish that task, you need to, start moving it, and raising those standards continually. And if you're that guy that's the good shooter and you see deficiencies around you, bring the community up by bringing those dudes in with you to help teach them stuff. I reached out to, law enforcement guys and civilians alike, or those that aren't in the law enforcement arena, to make myself better so that people can depend on me, because this is where I can fail. I can't fail out there. I'm going to let myself or someone else down. So again, large in part, the way we're looked upon by the community right now is probably not in the best light, and I think it's important that through our professionalism and dedication to the craft, we change that tone, and not only through shooting, but who we are as people, raise that social standard, so that we can start to be looked at again as valued members of the community and doing the right thing.
Yep. It's good stuff. I'm not gonna talk anymore because I'm running time. I'm gonna talk later.
Oh, I saw a lot of good shooting today, and I noticed none of us were really shooting at full speed. We showed you some of the targets, but the hits were all really good. But we did at points go between, okay, this is my 80% where I'm sure to get my hit, and then there was a little bit of pushing. We missed the target a couple of times today, but we were pushing. I mean, a headshot at 5 yards in .79, and you nicked the side of it, you're pushing.
Yeah.
But one way to get outgunned, like Ryan said, is to miss. So you have to have that accountability. I probably went slower than I normally do today, and I'm amongst really good shooters, but that's important to keep in mind too, is shoot for your capabilities. Just because I'm surrounded by shooters like this, I didn't go faster and miss just to get the speed. Think about what you're doing. Get the gun up, and what happens between here and here is so critical. You have to pick up that sight before you pull the trigger.
Yep.
It's great to be out with these guys. I don't get to see these guys very often, so it's always a treat to be able to hang around them. And then being able to meet Amy in person and shoot with her has been great. Each of these people are still, active law enforcement, they're in the job, they're still affecting that community or that group of people within a community. And one of the things when I was leaving law enforcement, I saw a lot of guys who just poor attitude toward it. I don't want to sound uber negative about that, but
fine. It's 'cause it's true. You're speaking the truth.
what I like to see about these individuals here is that each of them are a positive role model. They have a higher standard of care for themselves, and then that's contagious. Each of them is setting positive examples, in their respective areas, and then, with the social media, which is great. It's a great tool for being able to affect more people and spread that standard of care that each of these individuals embodies. So it's always a pleasure to be around you.
Thanks, Steve.
And what is your why? You know what I mean? Like, that's like one of the biggest things. Like, why do you go out and train? Like, you could be the reason why someone comes home tomorrow. You know what I mean? That's why we do what we do, and that's why we strive for, like what Ryan was saying, that high level and that high standard of training. So if you understand your why, I think if you really dig down deep in the weeds, sit down for a little bit and like really ask yourself why. Be honest. Exactly. Be honest with it. Why am I doing what I'm doing? I'm not here for to get faster splits or whatever the case. I can care less about that. But if it ends up that I'm tested tomorrow, I want to make sure I'm ready. And this should not be a second thought. This should be this should be just back of my head, because the one I'm focused on is right there. So again, what is your why? Understanding that. And I think if you do that, it will drive your training in a more positive direction.
Yeah. So moving forward, something that I appreciate extra with everyone here is, these aren't shooters in the community who just, they come out and shoot at a range, go back to their job. But these are folks that are on the internet. They are producing quality content. They use Instagram. And I know there's kind of a stigma that anyone who has an Instagram immediately has less credibility, because somehow Instagram is different than every other media platform on the internet. But there's no difference between Instagram, having a presence there, or having your own website where you produce and publish the same content. So I'm going to put the Instagram accounts for, everyone here down below. But I encourage you guys, follow everyone here, or at least check their account, because everyone here is posting, educational content on there. It's not just, flashy pictures of cool guns. That happens some, because, people do like that. And it can inspire them to go out and get proper equipment. But everyone here is posting like quality content regarding shooting. Sometimes it's not like the coolest thing and flashiest thing to go and watch, but it's on Instagram, which is a great platform to get information out to a whole lot of people. And I think, more people, more shooters and law enforcement as well, can be using that to benefit the community. So that's something that I really appreciate about everyone here. There's a lot of, folks out there, they go to the range like other shooters, but they don't have a presence, and they don't necessarily have an additional way to give back to all of you guys. But everyone here, they have that. So it's just something that I want to put out there to you guys, so you can keep up with, Mojo, Ryan, Amy, and Steve, and see what they're doing. Amy's out in Alaska where it's cold, so she posts a lot of content shooting in the snow.
Which is awesome.
Like, yeah, we're all out here. It's pretty warm out. We don't have like
today.
cold, frigid hands. But she'll be out there in the snow. Like, how much snow out there is there right now?
It's been up to my waist before, but it's really the cold that gets to you. It's negative 15 when I flew here, so 75 degrees different.
Yeah, so she's out there shooting these, but in, extremely cold weather. So that's something that's super cool. And then obviously, I live somewhere where it's warmer, so I don't necessarily have that problem. So, but anyway, hope that was helpful for you guys, just seeing some of the drills. Like, we're gonna keep shooting now that this is done, and we're just gonna keep doing the same thing, because we're here to better, ourselves as shooters, as instructors, as law enforcement guys, so that, we can be better, serve you guys, the community, more effectively. And that's what it's about. So take care, train hard, be safe.
You took someone's line. Train hard, be safe. Who's that?
It's to be a T.REX with wings on it.
Another internet burn down.